Hello, Mr. Chu here. Let's talk about fractions. So anytime that you're solving addition problem with fractions in it, you convert any mixed numbers to improper fractions. And if there are no mixed numbers, you just find a common denominator. You add the numerators over the common denominator, and then simplify and convert improper fractions to mixed numbers. So this is what I call tray arithmetic. It is the program that I create videos to help students that struggle with math. So make sure that if this helps you, like it. You can save it as a favorites. You can forward it to people. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. There's a link over here in the corner. And that will help me be able to spread more videos out to more people. So let's look at example 1 here. In example 1, we have to take our 5, 6, and 3/4 and change the 6 and the 4 into the same number. That's called a common denominator. And one of the easy ways to do it is to just take this 6 and multiply it by the other denominator, which is 4. And you should have been taught earlier in elementary school where if you multiply the denominator by a number, you have to multiply the numerator by that same number. And here's the reason. Because 4 over 4 is 1. And when you multiply anything by 1, you get that number back. I take my 3/4, and now I take the 4 and multiply it by 6 over 6. All right, so now I take my 5 times 4 plus the 3 times 6, and then that is all over 24. So 20 plus 18 over 24. 5 times 4 is 20. 3 times 6 is 18. I add those up. I get 38 over 24. Anytime the numerator is larger than the denominator, it's called an improper fraction. And we have to convert this to a mixed number. When you do that, you take and you write the 38 down. And this bar in the fraction means divide it by the 24. 24 will not divide into 3, but it will divide into 38 one time. Subtract that out. So the answer is 1 remainder 14. And you put that remainder 14 over the divisor. So 38 over 24 equals 1 14/24. Now if you want to check that, remember the way that you find what the improper fraction is for a mixed number is you take 24 times the whole number times 1 plus 14, and that does equal 38/24. Example 2. In example 2, we have to take and convert the mixed numbers into improper fractions. So I take the denominator 4 times the whole number 3 plus the numerator 1, and I put that over 4. And we're going to add that fraction to the improper fraction, the denominator 8 times the whole number 2 plus 3 over the denominator of 8. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 over 4 plus 8 times 2 is 16 plus 3 over 8. So I can simplify this 13 plus, or 12 plus 1 is 13 over 4 plus 16 plus 3 is 19 over 8. Now, there is something that students that are really strong in fraction skills would know something they could do to this one. It is called the LCD. But if you don't know that, I'm going to rewrite this just so it's a little easier for me now. If you don't know how to find an LCD, let's just find a common denominator. So the easy way to do this is just to take this denominator and multiply it by this denominator. But remember, you have to always keep the fractions equivalent. So I have to multiply the denominator and the numerator by the same number. And 8 over 8 is 1. And you multiply by 1, you get that same number back. This 8 can be multiplied by 4, but it has to be 4 over 4. So 13 times 8 over 4 times 8. It's going to give me a fraction that has the same denominator as 19 times 4 over 8 times 4. So the 13 times 8 you can take and practice this for those that need to practice. This is an arithmetic class, right? 8 times 3 is 24, carry the 2. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So this is 104 over 4 times 8 is 32. And now I can take my 19 times 4. 4 times 9 is 36, carry the 3. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 76. So we've got 104 plus 76. So I can add these up now. 180 over 32. Now what we do is we take the 180, and this bar means divide by 32. So I take my 180, divide it by 32. 32 will not divide into 1 or 18, but it will divide into 180 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. And when I subtract, I get 20. So this is 5, remainder 20. And the 5 remainder 20 becomes 5 and 20 over the divisor 32. But since 20 and 32 are both divisible by 4, I can reduce this. And one way students are often taught to first reduce these is to find the biggest number I can divide both of them by. Several different ways I can teach you to do this, but this is one way that's often taught. So it's 5 and 20 divided by 4 is 5. 32 divided by 4 is 8. And this is the final answer. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to try a couple problems. And you can do this by getting out a piece of paper, writing the problems down, pausing this video, coming up with an answer, and then seeing if you did it correctly. It is that quick to do, because there will be a link that comes up. I have these on another board here, so that we don't have to wait for me to write it. Find the common denominators and simplify. This is an easy one. You're just going to multiply the first one by 3 over 3, second one by 9 over 9, and then simplify it. Challenge 2, you need to change these to improper fractions and then find a common denominator. All right, make sure you like my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel in the link that's down on the far right. I am Mr. Chu. This is Tray Arithmetic. There will be this link up here after you stop pausing this and work these 2 challenge problems. The link will have them worked out step by step. Down here will be a link of other fraction videos that I've done up to this point. I'm Mr. Chu, and I want to help you learn how to add fractions. See you next time in my next video.